Fresh Baked, we are back with another update on Galaxy's Edge from the top of Mickey and Friends parking structure, looking at the backside of Battle Escape. And once again, lots of progress happening here with regard to finishing the backside of that rock. And I asked this question, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but why? Why are they finishing when they're not finishing the others? And I don't know, the responses I got weren't very convincing, so I'm still curious why they're not leaving that rock work there unfinished. It's fascinating to me. There's got to be a reason. Like, there you go. That stuff is, I don't know. I don't get it. The blankets are not being finished, but the other ones are. Top of Battle Escape, and not a lot of progress here. So I'm gonna kind of zip by. It's hard. I wish we could be on the ground. I really do wish we can be on the ground. But what I can do is, as we do often, do a little before and after. And there is what things looked like about 5 weeks ago. And one of the things you'll notice is that they have apparently maybe finished another section, because look at here, the scaffolding is now gone. Actually, all those sections, there's no scaffolding on any of those peaks to the left, the spires on the left. There are still some on the right. But now, normally, if there's no scaffolding, that means they're done painting. But I don't know. That seems unlikely because they still have that sort of grayish, white-washed look to it. Now, I don't know if that's intentional or not. Why didn't they give it, the full color like they did that peak, the main peak there in the middle? So we're gonna watch that because we've seen that before on the Millennium Falcon, where they had taken down some of the scaffolding and then it came back up again later. So I'm not sure if that means anything or not. But let's continue. And what I want to look at, I saw this with my eye. I couldn't tell what that was, what that yellow thing was. I thought it was something on the rockwork, but it was just the top of a crane. But it sort of got me, I don't know, again, fascinated with the idea that, as we finish see that there's no way that's done, right? They're going to leave it like that? That can't be right. Sorry. Yeah, we saw the crane, moving about, and there is just so much activity happening on the ground. That is, those spires right there are slow moving, aren't they? I think they just kind of left those unfinished. See that? Right now, you guys, we hardly ever get to see live action when we film on Saturdays because, they're usually done working by the time we're filming. But right now, they're doing something down there, and it's just driving me bananas that I can't see any of it. It's driving me bananas because there's so much happening on the ground. I think next week I'm going to try to see if I can't grab some of those bioreconstruct images from Disney World, and we can, draw some inferences there and just kind of show you what it might look like on the ground, because we're seeing detail happening on the ground from those photos. There's that crane again. What is he doing? Is he building Star Wars? Is that crane building? Okay. I'm going to get a hold of myself. Moving quickly here again, as noted. I just wish there was something else to see back here. All right, back over to Mark Twain on the Rivers of America. And I wanted to sort of pause here again in just a second right here to comment on the blankets and the gaps. Rockwork here is beautiful, no doubt about it. This is fascinating stuff to observe. And I've mentioned in the past that, those gaps are just, I don't know why, they're getting even more and more obvious as time goes by. And I've heard that, the reason why they're not filling those in is that they're waiting for other stuff to be finished. But what? This looks done. This looks done to me. Here it is 5 weeks ago again. And you can see that there was, some scaffolding and whatnot going on around certain areas, and that the paint hadn't been finished. But I mean, by all appearances, that area is done now. I don't see any scaffolding anywhere there, so I have to wonder if it's imminent, filling in those gaps, because there's just certainly no chance that they would leave it like that. I get it. You're not going to see those gaps from the ground. The force perspective will solve that for you, but they got to solve it from all angles, from all perspectives, no matter where you are, except for the backside, obviously. That was one of the reasons why they took down one of the spires, is because they couldn't resolve the fact that you could only see, or you could see just the top of the spire, and that the metal framework was exposed when you were looking at it, I think, from Fantasyland. So that certainly is something that they're worried about. So I don't know. We're going to pay attention to this in the coming weeks to see how that gets settled, and we'll continue. There's that crane again. We will be looking for the shuttle ship, the cargo ship too, obviously. Oh, I'm back on the... Okay, well... See, the boat moves in different directions, so I have to take my shots where I get them. So here's another scan of the blankets and the split rock. See, no scaffolding anywhere, right? There's the ship. Found it. It looks to be more or less complete from this angle. Everything is put in. I don't see the crane anywhere near this, so they're not bringing any more pieces. They probably have to finish it in some ways, but all the parts are probably there. The ship is more or less, complete. Just behind those rocks, just behind those trees, they are putting in theming and fine detail. There's the ship again. I was asked, maybe you can see it from Tarzan's Treehouse. No, you can't see hardly anything from Tarzan's Treehouse. You can see the rockwork, but it's no better than the view we get from Mark Twain. There's no more insight gained from Tarzan's Treehouse. But we are going to get a look at some views from Big Thunder. You can get a decent view from Big Thunder at the goat turn. So in a little bit, we'll be checking that out. I mean, I would give my left arm for something to look at that isn't these mountains. And I really like my left arm. I'm fond of it. There's another gap right there where the arch is. As I push it a little bit to observe that, that's another one that I'm concerned about, how they're going to solve that. Because you can see show building behind it. Through it, really. Still try every week to see if I can't see anything through those trees right there. There's a little opening, but nothing ever becomes visible. Okay, let's head over to Big Thunder, where we're reaching the apex of the climb from Rainbow Caverns. And we'll pause right here to get just a split second of a view. This view changes immediately, right? Like 2 frames after this. But let's just zoom in real quick and see what we might be able to observe. I understand that the coloring is a little goofy because the light or the white balance hadn't yet adjusted because it's on automatic here. But it kind of just gives you another perspective, another angle from which to view, because we're not really learning anything new here. I don't see anything here that we don't normally already see, but it is a new perspective, and we can kind of see how these, like those dome structures, relate to one another. I don't know if this is going to be useful going forward, but I don't know. I like seeing different angles. But let's go to the Goat Hill, and we'll stop. And here we do get a reasonable view of the shuttle ship, the cargo ship. And let's focus in on that for a minute. Definitely the best look we've got at it so far. From the Mark Twain, all we can see is that the tail. But from here, obviously, you can see that the ship does appear. It looks like a shuttle, right? Like a space shuttle. But you can definitely see how this it does look to be finished. One thing, as we mentioned before, they took down one of those spires because they were, the one that you could see the bottom, the naked framework, the metal framework from Fantasyland. You can see that. Look at that obvious spire right there in the left of the frame. I realize that this is a split second only, but it's still possible. Anybody could. Wow. I wonder if if they have any intentions on solving that. I gotta think no, because they would be well into that already. I would imagine. Or I guess the alternative is that they're going to put something in front of it. Now, got a good look at the shuttle ship, but here's something. Finally, guys, look what I just noticed. Our first bit of on-the-ground theming. There's a wall. There's a wall that looks like it's been, beaten down by probably a battle of some kind, maybe, collateral damage or something like that, where that shuttle ship is landed. That rock wall has been damaged, and that's kind of what we're to expect, I would imagine, in terms of how they're going to, theme this or design, the stuff on the ground is very war-worn, time-worn. So that's pretty neat. That's a first, right? That's a first for us anyway. As I mentioned before, you're seeing some of that on the ground stuff from BioReconstruct at Walt Disney World. So let's pass that rock right there on the right and see if we can get another look at what's happening, past that rock. And you can see the tail from the ship there. But what really is interesting here is, again, it's another perspective, another way to look at how these dome structures relate to one another. And if we can even, I think, plot this, on the model, using this structure right here, this dome right here as a basis, I believe that to be this structure right here, this dome on the model, and now, our angle is similar, but not quite the same. We're a little bit higher and to the left. But if we use that as our basis point, then we can probably guess that structure right there, to its left and behind it, is this structure, that dome right there. Now, again, the perspective, it looks further apart here, but from our view, I think that is distorted a little bit. And if that's the case, then we can also place this structure, that dome structure right there, as being this guy way back there in the corner. And if we were to take this camera down and to the right, I should say, I think that those things would line up pretty well. So that's kind of fun, being able to, seeing this from a top view gives us a little more idea of what we can expect on the ground in real life. So I'm not sure how useful that is, but it's fun. It's fun to do that. And now, before we continue on the Mark Twain, let's head over to Chippendales, where again we're going to do a little before and after. I want to stop here right away just to sort of. There's been a lot of progress in this far corner of the land. That's how it looks today. And here it again. 5 weeks ago, they hadn't finished that dome structure on the left, and the scaffolding was, or I should say that peak, that spire, appears to be finished. The one in the foreground. Let's get a little closer look, as we usually do. Close-ups of the dome structures. again, I have to wonder if that current color scheme is going to be permanent. They've got, for some reason, they've got that structure there, the spire they've been working on behind us, a scrim now. Cool. All right, back to the Rivers of America for our final look. We're probably going to be trying to find the shuttle ship again, because this was a great view that we got of it a couple weeks ago. That's going to look great, in my opinion. Right there, that gap. Concerning, because that's show building right through that hole. Alright, well there you go guys. Thanks for watching our Knothole Gang report this week, and of course we'll be back next week and every week after that until this thing is done. So again, thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed. We love you very much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. And until next time, Fresh Baked! We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!